we've got a great painting trick that will make your bricks look natural again, inside or out. And it really doesn't take that long to do. It takes about 1 minute per square foot for the background colors and 1 minute per square foot for the mortar lines. At the end of this video, we show about 4 square feet of brick being painted with this technique with fewer cuts, so you can really get a good look at how this is done. If you love the look of natural bricks, but your bricks have been painted and you've wondered how to get that paint off, only to find out that it's very difficult, pretty toxic, and expensive. But don't despair. We'll have your bricks looking natural again in no time, and there are no messy additives to mix, just flat matte paint. We do this on surfaces that already have brick texture. You can make bricks on flat surfaces too, but that's a video for another day. You can work on any color brick finish, and if you think you'll have trouble getting paint to stick, try a light spray of primer first. To get the natural look, we're going to use at least 3 colors and more if you like, because mixing them as you go will give you many shades and look like they were made from the earth, wind, and fire of a kiln. So how do you pick the colors? Start by getting photos of brickwork you love and comparing them to both photos of your project space, and look at your colors in different lighting too. But remember, paint is forgiving, especially this type of painting where you can play with it as you go. We'll give you a few examples of what we would do. On our basement walls, we went for a classic industrial look using orange, purple, and brown. We blended those colors and came up with lots of different shades, and once that was dry, we did the mortar lines, and then we accented with some brights and dark colors just for fun. That part is optional. We'll link the video because it shows step-by-steps, which are actually fun, and love the results every time we go in this room, really do. And if we wanted something more vivid and dark like this, maybe for a pub or a background that you decorate a lot for holidays, we could go with something like these colors: brighter orange, dark brick, deep brown. And if we want a softer, somewhat distressed look, we could add in some spattering and sponge painting in white on top of terracotta, sunset pink, and a medium brown. Here's how to do the 4-step background. Step 1, roll on a base color. You don't need total coverage, and you may need to wet this down if it's drying too fast, and that can help you with the blending later. Step 2, add random patches of your rosy or purple blending color. We're making big and little splotches of it on the orange and filling in some of the unpainted spots. Step 3, blend with watery brown just enough to make the first 2 colors look married. And 4, brush or roll on some accent colors. In this case, we're doing the medium orange again. You can use other accent colors here and there. Stand back and look at it, let it dry, and usually the colors will darken and look very matte like bricks. Here's a second example on a brown wall. Step 1, rolling on the base, in this case, caramelized orange. And you don't need full coverage. A roller makes it fast, but you can also use a brush. We brushed on a little water next. Do this if your paint is drying too fast. 2, we're going to dab on some warmer tone splotches. In this case, it's an ordinary barn red. But see how you're starting to get a variety of colors working on this wet surface? Step 3, marry the first 2 with an earthy brown. This will dry much darker too. You can make individual bricks more one color, and others can have many colors. The main thing is to chase down any drips and blend those in. And here we do our accent color with a pink terracotta. Love that color. And that's all we need. And we also have a second way of doing this that we used on this antique carriage house. What we did was paint big clouds of colors in coral shades with lots of faded white. We didn't do the 4-step blending that was in the original video. What we did was blend wild splotches of the colors we liked in a big abstract painting. We went a little darker under the eaves and darker on the second half of the front for the kind of unevenness you might find in older structures. So if you like random painting like this, try this abstract technique. And if that's not your thing, you want it to be step by step, do that 4-step background in the first video. Both of these techniques are very effective. pull the look together with the mortar lines. The mortar lines are what fool the eye into seeing individual bricks from what started as an abstract background. We always use chalk paint and try a few colors and see what looks subtle. It's probably best to avoid harsh contrast here. You can use a rounded brush that fits into your mortar line and sweep it into place. We used a color called hazelnut for this foundation, and remember, you can always touch it up here and there if anything looks glitchy, or you can wipe it off if you make a mistake. And you can do this kind of painting in stages as you get time. Before you know it, folks will be amazed at your new brickwork. So start in a section that's not so noticeable, and you'll get the hang of this before you know it. I chose this color. It's called Caramelized Orange. I got it from Bear at the Home Depot. It's meant to be used on masonry. It will dry darker, and I wanted to use a liberal amount of it. I wanted to show what it's like to add water. The whole idea is to blend these colors while they're wet. The only red that I had on hand was a barn red, also by Bear. This is a very durable paint. I was surprised at the kind of pinkish tones that came out there. I'm starting to think of this style of brick painting as calico because I'm deliberately making it a little less blended and a little more choppy. It does look choppy up close. It's not as blended as some of my other brickwork, but I decided to do that on this foundation because I think it'll look good from either close up or far away and really display these colors pretty well. I'm already on the brown, as you can see. It just doesn't take long at all, and I'm a fairly slow painter. I guess I'm experienced, so it goes faster than it would if I were just starting out, but you can still see that brown marries all the colors together and brings out a whole bunch of different tones, but I'm not doing super blending. I'm leaving some of the bricks kind of solid looking, and that's a more modern look. Well, for mid-century modern, a lot of times the masons will pick out certain bricks to make dark or light, but you'll also see this sometimes on antique work too, where one brick will suddenly be a lot darker than all the others. It's kind of funny when you look at these bricks once they were all finished. Some of them were quite stripy, but it seemed like when I added this pinker tone that it just came to life in a way that I didn't expect. Maybe that's because it's one of my favorite colors. This brown brickwork is about 30 years old, and it is fading in some places to that terracotta, towards that terracotta color and towards these orangier colors. So as I'm working my way around the building, I think I'm going to let some of those show through. If you were working on a white surface, you may need to layer the paint on a little heavier to cover the white. And if you needed to use a primer, just spray it on and let it dry, or roll it on and let it dry. I don't think you need a lot of it. You mainly are going to need it if you've got glossy bricks and you're worried about your matte paint kind of chipping off later. But they make paint these days that are very durable, especially the multi-surface paints by Bear. And you've got the masonry paint and the barn paints. They're all very durable. And the chalk paint that I use for these mortar lines, It works fine outdoors. If you used a bright color, it might fade within the year, but these neutral colors seem to hold up just fine. And you can see the bricks themselves were still a little bit wet because it was raining this week. And so I was able to do a little extra blending as I went along. And I had to use 2 coats of the chalk paint to do the mortar lines in some places because it was still a little bit wet. I was amazed that I only needed 2 coats, but it did the job, as you can see. Don't miss the next project at Love for a Country House. We think you'll be amazed. Click the sun logo to subscribe. Later.